What's up, guys? It is Magi coming at you with some StarCraft 2 Junior Star League action, and this time around we have a Group D matchup. Now, Group D, has been throwing some golden plats out here. So without further ado, let's get right into this game and get these players introduced, shall we, and get on the way. Spawning into the top left-hand corner, a neon violet square LE, the purple Terran pieces. He goes by the name of Yakuzaku. And in the bottom right-hand corner, telling his opponent he's rarely played this map, is the blue Zerg pieces from StarCraft 2 Indonesia. He goes by the name of For Us Horus. So TVZ is the match, and this week I seem to have found a pretty good trend in nothing but Terran and Terran versus Zerg and Terran versus Protoss. And I already lose about. I need a thought, man. It's gonna be a fun night already. Luckily, I only have a few groups left to do here, so we're gonna get these games out to you guys, and we're gonna enjoy these while in the end. Now, Yakuzaku gonna go ahead and start up his Reaper expansion, and dude, this audio seems incredibly loud, so let's go ahead and turn that down a little bit here. Of course, if it sounds loud to me, it might not sound loud to you guys. So we're just gonna turn this down to about 85%. We're gonna go with it. And return to the game. There we go. So it looks like, again, a Reaper expansion for Yakuzaku. Now, a Reaper expansion and TVZ is still a very viable opening for Zerg or Terran, as I'm looking at a Zerg base. And we do have a 17 hatch, 17 pool for For Us Horus. So everything looking pretty standard so far. Now, let's just not say this right away, as this game could get completely turned on its head here in the next few minutes. Now, a little bit about Neon Violet. In the middle of the map, we do have the pachinko slots and some rocks, and more pachinko slots, and more rocks. And the pachinko slots really kind of zone out a lot of the bigger army, as they have to come all the way around the outside, and then all the way around the outside here as well, just to get by. Otherwise, you knock these rocks open and create more of a straight in path. Now, we do have some attack paths around the outsides of the maps that generally Zerg is very easily able to control just overlords and be able to scout these attack paths, as we do indeed see our Reaper buddy come through the pachinko machine here. Our Reaper buddy Rob on his way over to his opponent's base. Let's check out and see what's going on. Now, we do have a second barracks being added on and a second gas for Yakuzaku. This expansion should get spotted there. He does know it's being built on the low ground, so he could easily go ahead and send some Lings over, but the Lings aren't out just yet, as this Reaper is going to make his way around. See that there is a Roach Warren. Make his way back down to the natural. Now, there's no Queen here, so this Reaper could go ahead and, pick off a couple drones. It looks like he's going to go ahead and scout for that third base and make his way back in. Now he knows exactly what he's up against. Now, he should be able to just, go ahead and factory follow up on the way. Attack lab follow up as well, meaning he will be able to just go ahead and start Marauders, so you can go for Marauders or go into that lovely siege tank production. Every Terran player in the world gets a 10% boost to their overall play by listening to Terran soundtrack while they play. Now, Nexus, the natural expansion. I can't believe this, how many, errors I'm making here. Expansion does go down here. There are some Marines here to help shoo away these Lings, but these Lings will be able to get in here and clean this up. Marauder does pop out. Now, this Marauder should be able to clear up the last of these Lings, as he does have a lot of health to go through, and he is pretty tough. But there's a lot of Lings. These Lings getting quite a bit of damage done here. A bunker being thrown down at the front for Yakuzaku pretty late, as this little run-by is already doing quite a bit of damage. I mean, he's cleaned up the first few Marines. He's cleaned up a Marauder. He's now going to get to work on the SCV building the bunker. And it's just more and more units are being rallied down here. And now they're going to make their way up to the ramp and clean up the last few of these Marines. And so far, the resources lost to just 6 Lings for the amount of damage dealt here. Bunker not quite done. Now, this Marauder should be able to finish this off. But hold the phone. As I say that, here comes our reinforcements. The Ling Roach composition pushing across the map. This is the timing that's been going around the ladder, it seems like, lately. Of just getting a quick spawning pull and immediately cranking up that Roach for it and just going for it. And, you know, he's fighting on the low ground. He needs to cancel this lovely SCV building here and lift his natural command center. Didn't even have a hope of staying alive. But he's just going to GG out with no army in production. Alright, let's go ahead and mute before the Void Rays. Alright, kids, moving back into Odyssey LE next. This is yet again another TVZ in this gold versus plat matchup. A David versus Goliath. Spawning into the top left hand corner of Odyssey LE. Currently down 1-0 in this series. He goes by the name of Yaku Zaku. And from StarCraft 2 Indonesia. Currently up 1-0 in the series on match point. It is the Blue Zerg Pieces of For Us Horus. Let's see whether or not For Us Horus will close this game out. And take the series 2-0. Or will this Bandit Purple be able to bring it back and tie it up? So far, showing that he does want to get that Reaper expansion going. You know, I'm not going to knock him for it. It's a very good, solid opener. You know, there's a timing that beats it very, very easily. Meanwhile, on the other side of map, For Us Horus is going to go for that 17 hatch. 16 pool. It should be a spawning pool follow-up here very shortly. 17 hatch, 17 pool. The way of the Zerg. They apparently know the way. There's a gas, and we should see a spawning pool next. Now, Odyssey LE was kept around the last season solely to test out the changes. Check out the Rubber Ducky. Love the Rubber Ducky. Rubber Ducky. Was solely to test out the changes, you know, the current patch that's currently out. When 4.0 hit, there's a lot of questions being asked in terms of like exactly what is going to happen and, you know, which way this and that is going to shift. So they wanted to make sure on maps that were very well balanced, whether or not they were going to, you know, it was going to be a solid patch to work with. And so far it has done that, shown that it is a very solid patch in the way of the Stalkers, and recently there will be some changes coming that were announced. Now, I imagine they're going to come out shortly this week. Probably after WCS is done for this weekend, they'll go ahead and get ready to push that out Tuesday. With the 17 pool now done, with the spawning pool now done, he can go ahead and start pumping out some Zerglings. Now, For Us Horus, it looks like he's just going to send some drones down here to start mining at this natural command center, or natural hatchery. His natural expansion, so to speak. Anyway, he is. We do have Yaku Zaku sticking to his guns, pushing out that lovely Reaper. Command center on the way, so he is going into that 2-1-1 composition. Now, naturally, you want to start that command center before that barracks gets down. And I would like to see him go ahead and pick up a faster factory. I mean, he definitely has the resources for it. You know, you immediately get that 2-1-1 going, therefore you can get your tank production out and rolling. Now, For Us Horus sticking to his guns, sending those links across the map. It worked pretty well for him last time. The Reaper is out and checking around, make sure there's no third base. And I love Yaku Zaku. He really has his mechanics down in terms of like what you need to look for as a Terran. But what he's not looking is the best spot. Now, one thing he should go ahead and make sure he checks out is whether or not his opponent does have that Roach for him, because last time around that was what killed him in the end. But it looks like Yaku Zaku is pretty safe in terms of that Roach one being down. He still thinks there's no third base, and For Us Horus kind of has him fooled him out when he says, haha, you're going to look over here? Well, I'm just going to expand down here. And check this as my third. This Reaper is going to finally figure out exactly where that third base is at. These Lings do come home. Roach Warren finally down and about to finish up. Which means we should see a pretty similar timing. We saw last time. Hey, command center. You need to land. Land right now. There we go. He figures it out. I love the fact he kept some army up on the high ground, you know, to defend that aggression. Now what he needs to do is get his bunkers started, because once this push comes out, there we go, the bunker is on the way. Now he's showing that he can very easily hold this. The Reaper does get picked off across the map. And the 4th base is on the way here for Forest Horse. So he's showing that he wants to play that super expansion game. He wants to play that macro game. Now, Yakuzaku looks like he does want to go ahead and push out on the map here and, you know, get rid of this Overlord. Pesky Overlord. It does supply cap Forest Horse for the time being. He is getting his wall off down. Now, this is just going to go to a late game. You know, both players are basically staying, okay, I got game 1 off you, mate. I'm just going to play a macro game, you know, completely change it up. You're going to expect another kind of a cheesy push with that Ling Roach attack that came out last game. But this time I'm going to play macro and play a little bit longer. Needs to finish that wall off. Scan being thrown down here to check and see exactly what his opponent has for tech. He does see there is a Roach Horn and now a Baneling Nest down. So you should have some tanks on the way here from that factory. You know, deal with these Roaches and Banelings. It's a really good unit to have for that reason. So it looks like Forest Horse is going to show us exactly how he's going to Bane Bust and just follow up with a Roach aggression. Now, there is a lot of Terran already out here on the map. He does go ahead and finish that wall off. So now Forest Horse on 4 base. Morphing in some Ravagers, getting his Evo Chambers, so he is wanting to play that little bit longer game. Should this aggression not work, or not happen to get the damage done he wants done. Should see a few more Lings on the way. There we go. About to finish up. A couple of Scouting Lings being sent out. Now, again, there's still no tanks out just yet. This first tank is on the way. Bunker is really exposed as well. I would like to see him kind of wall that off a little bit more so the Lings can't get on top of that bunker as easily. Tank in the back line. Now, Terran is just kind of turtling up here. His 3rd base needs to be started by now because, you know, by the time that 9 minutes rolls around, it's going to be kind of late if you're just now starting up that 3rd. Marine going to go out and, you know, do a little bit of scouting information of his own. And again, both players just playing a very passive game here. Now, Forest Horse is just going to max out and push across the map. He's going to get his 1-1 done. I imagine it's going to be with that 1-1 timing finishing up. You know, the macro of Terran here, it should be at least 2 more barracks down. You know, 5 barracks on 2 bases, about where he should be. Hey, SCV, get to work. I see you over there, being an idle little champ. Now, 1-1 is done for Terran. The siege tank awkwardly stuck behind the engineering bay. As we follow this awkward siege tank, the one siege tank that could, realizing his mistake, he's going to go ahead and kill off that engineering bay. Now, he could just go ahead and salvage a bunker instead, and move the bunker back, and make sure he still has a way out, rather than killing off his structure that he might wind up needing here in a few minutes. I mean, he could really good wall off using those engineering bays. But he's just going to go ahead and throw down 2 more supply depots instead to finish that wall off once again. He is going to go ahead and push out across the map and try and find some damage here. Still no 3rd base on the way just yet. Now, this aggression shouldn't get a whole lot done. I mean, Forest Horse is ahead in supply cap here. He's going to have defensive advantage. And as this push comes out here, he might get the 4th or 3rd base, but that's probably going to be about it. He's going to be able to come down here and defend this very, very easily. The Lings are just going to jump on top of the tank. He's trying to boost out of here with what little bit of army he can. He doesn't even finish a base. Some very awkward command movement there. Rather than not just focusing it down. Trying to F2 his way out of there. So the 3rd base does end up living. Now there are a couple tanks here. At least 1 tank here to defend with. So means Forest Horse is just going to kind of hang out. The Hydra Tech is on the board now, so he is good, has anti-air for these medevacs as well. Now Forest Horse is just going to go ahead and push across the map. He has the Lings, the wall is open, so these Lings could slip in and get on top of that tank. And our Ravagers here should be able to knock this wall down very, very quickly when this aggression does indeed happen. But army supply being heavily in favor of Forest Horse. I don't see any way Yakuzaku is really going to be able to make his way out of this. I mean, there is another tank out, and he does step forward, but the bunker goes down immediately. The tank also getting focus fired down as well by these Ravagers. And there's nothing but Bio and one tank left. Now, Forest Horse is going to back off here. Get his army back together and go again. He's already dealt a little bit of damage. Tank on siege. I would like to see this tank sieged up on the high ground where there's no vision. Because then that Ravager will not be able to hit it without pulling this Overlord over. So without having that high ground vision. He's going to pull one tank back behind his supply depots. Or is he going to move out? Oh, don't tell me you're going to move out. Please don't move out. This is not the time to be moving out here. The Bank of Forest is absolutely real, so he can just remax immediately. He's backing off. What? Is there a drop somewhere on the map in this? There's no drop. I mean, why are you backing off? You can easily break the front here, mate, and then remax. Your opponent is now going up to a third base that's being built right up underneath your nose, honestly. And it's going to prompt Terry, you know, to move down here into his new position to defend that third base. Now, I guess he's just going to take up the hive is done. Oh, the Nidus Worm. I love this idea, mate. Get the Nidus Worm. He's going to drop the Nidus right here in the back. I mean, I guess he feels he can't beat the wall of Yakuzaku, so Forest Horus is saying, you know what, I'm going to go around it. And you know what? Yep, there you go. He has no idea that this is going to happen. He's actually scanning, looking for the army. He's not going to be able to find it, and the Nidus Worm not even going to get spotted here. It's going to finish up, and this is going to be one of those moments where you just go, oh no. Nidus Worm's done. He's looking. He doesn't see it, and now he sees the creep, so he is going to be able to move up here to defend this. He's going to have to unsiege everything and move this tank. Now, this Nidus Worm not unloading just yet. There we go. It is finally unloading here. A Wood of Mine popping out here. Going to join in this lovely Terran army and add a little bit of splash damage. But there's a lot of Zerg here in the main base and a lot of army popping out of that Nidus Worm. The tank not sieging up. The tank finally sieges up. But that's going to be it for the bio. And that should spell the end of this game here. There's just nothing here that Yakuzaku can absolutely do to defend this. His army just kind of hanging out in the naturals. All his production does die. And with that, that is going to be the end of this game. I mean, you should see the GG on the way as Terran just falls so far behind here. And the one last desperate hold of the Terran siege tanks chewing their way through some of this Zerg army, but it's just not going to be enough. Is again, he actually went across the map with a drop. I mean, had he kept this army back home, he might have actually been able to defend it a lot easier. I mean, he just loaded up. He's not really getting any damage done. He's just trying to find tech, I guess. You know, it's just not going to be able to get any damage done if you don't really have any focus in your drop. And so the base race, you're not really going to be able to win unless you can defend back home as well. But GG does get called out, and that is going to close the series out. And Forest Horus does take a 2-0 victory in the end. Now, we're going to mute that audio before the Void Ray kicks in. And Jay Frank, you missed what I said last night because you took off so quick. Because apparently people don't like to watch my stream for more than 5 seconds. I've been busy, for one. And for two, there are certain people with Insight Gaming right now that I do not care to make a comment in chat about. Who just shoot their mouth off for no reason. And it gets on my nerves. Anyway, I do believe we didn't have anything for Group E. Let me check. The Void Ray is killing my ears, though. Okay, we did have a Group E matchup. Now we're going to go ahead and move into that Group E matchup. Wait, no, there wasn't anything for Group E this week. So it went right to Group F. Did I even download this one? If I downloaded this one, I'll cast it. But if I didn't download it earlier, then no, I didn't have this one earlier, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip that group because that group was not there originally when it started. So we're going to go ahead into Group F. Group G. There's a Group G matchup. Was there a Group H matchup for Week 6? And if so, did I download it? Yeah, okay, I have Group H. So we have Group F, G, and H. Do I have a Group G? Nope. Okay, that was the other one that I do believe. No, okay, I have that one too. Okay, let's do this. Group F is next.